There's a growing concern about something called ghost convictions. That's when someone has information on a criminal record and the information should not be there. Here's an example. You may recall the story of Clarence Elkins. The Stark County man spent 7 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. Now, he was exonerated and he was awarded more than $1 million by the state of Ohio for his false conviction. Yet, his court documents still show charges for aggravated murder. Again, he was cleared of any wrongdoing, so why is that information still out there? Okay, here's another example. There was a false charge on this man's record. 5 on Your Side Chief Investigator Dwayne Pullman aired a story last May about Brian Freeman in Wayne County. Anyone who checked Brian Freeman's criminal background found a child abduction charge. But Brian Freeman was never charged with abduction. Dwayne helped get that false charge off of his record. So, you've got to ask at this point, how often is this happening? And civil rights attorney Warner Mendenhall is here to talk about these ghost convictions. This is really scary because when you think about it, it really could happen to any of us, couldn't it?
Well, and we've seen it happen on a mass scale in the Florida elections in 2000. You know, they matched up felony records with a lot of the voters, and a lot of people were kicked off the rolls. So that's one way that it happens. And then we have found that there's simply our data entry errors at police stations, jails, and other public facilities that result in these convictions showing up on your record.
So if somebody maybe is applying to be a job as a bus driver or something where they're going to do a criminal background check, you may never know that the reason you're not getting these jobs is because you have this false conviction.
Right, and Mr. Freeman, he's my client, and what happened to him is he's a master's degree engineer, and he could not get a job for a period of about 5 years.
Wow.
Where it really came up is where he wanted to get custody of a child, and they would not give him custody of the child because this child abduction showed up on his record. Well, he's trying to help out a family member. This thing shows up on the record. That was the first he knew about it. Meanwhile, he's been horribly penalized and essentially has not worked for 5 years.
That is horrifying. So what can any of us do to make sure this isn't happening to us?
Well, one of the things, if you think there's something odd happening when you're applying for jobs, you need to get your own background check done to make sure that one of these is not on your record. And if it is, you can begin to take steps to clear it. You know, thanks to Dwayne Pullman, Mr. Freeman got his record cleared up to some extent. But we have also sued the Wayne County Sheriff's Office about that so that we can find out what exactly happened, whether it was a data error, data entry error, or whether the private company that provides the software had a mistake in its code.
How do you go about getting a background check on yourself?
Well, there are a lot of background check businesses in the area. You can go there. It usually costs between $35 and $50, and they will look at the national criminal databases and see if there's something like that showing up on your record. All
right, well, if you would like to contact Warner, his offices are on Union Street in Akron. The number to call is 330-535-9160, and we've also got a link to his website on newsnet5.com. Very eye-opening. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we're going to head over to Danita.